There is a very quiet moment that many parents experience after the age of 60. It happens in the evening, when the house feels larger than usual and the mind feels heavier than the body. A phone rests in the hand. A name appears on the screen, a son, a daughter. And before pressing call, there is hesitation. Not because of pride alone, and not because of anger, but because of something deeper. The fear of becoming a burden. Growing older was not supposed to feel this way. You worked hard for decades. You sacrificed sleep, comfort, and sometimes even your own dreams so your children could stand taller than you ever did. If you are watching this today and you are over 60, tell me gently, Uberazal Darimana? And in your heart, have you ever felt that pause before asking for help? This conversation is not about blame. It is not about saying parents are wrong. Life can change suddenly. Health costs rise. Savings shrink. Unexpected needs appear. Sometimes asking for help feels reasonable, even necessary. But after 60, something becomes more valuable than money. It is peace. It is dignity. It is emotional balance. Children grow up, but their responsibilities grow even faster. Behind their smiles are mortgages, school fees, unstable jobs, and private worries they may never share. When a parent asks for financial help, most children will say yes. They will not refuse. They love you. But sometimes, love can quietly carry pressure. Dependence can slowly shift the balance in a relationship. A small request can turn into a pattern. A pattern can become expectation. And expectation, if repeated too often, can create unspoken tension. No one talks about it. No one complains. Yet something changes in the air. After 60, stress does not only affect the mind. It affects the heart, blood pressure, sleep, and memory. Protecting your health also means protecting your emotional stability. Financial comfort matters, but emotional comfort matters more. In this video, we will reflect calmly on 10 reasons why parents should think carefully before asking their children for money. Not to create distance. Not to create guilt. But to protect harmony, respect, and long-term love. When children grow up, parents often continue to see them through memories. You still remember their small hands, their school uniforms, the way they once depended on you for everything. In your heart, they remain your little boy or your little girl. But adulthood changes the weight they carry, even if their smile still looks the same. Today's world is not light. Living costs rise quietly but steadily. Housing payments stretch for decades. Education expenses grow each year. Medical insurance, transportation, daily necessities, everything demands attention. Many adults wake up early, work long hours, and return home exhausted, only to continue thinking about bills that never truly disappear. If you look at your child during a family gathering, you may only see strength. You may see stability. You may believe they are more secure than you ever were. And sometimes that is true. But sometimes what you are seeing is effort, not ease. What you are seeing is responsibility, not comfort. Many adult children choose not to share their financial worries with their parents. They do this out of respect. They do this out of love. They do not want you to worry. So they remain silent about debts, about career uncertainty, about business struggles, or about the pressure to provide for their own children. When a parent asks for financial help, most children will not refuse. Even if it is difficult, they will try. They may adjust their budget. They may delay a plan. They may take on additional stress quietly. Outwardly, nothing changes. Inwardly, tension may begin to grow. After 60, your role slowly transforms. You are no longer the shield standing in front of every storm. You become the calm center of the family. And calm centers do not add new weight when the structure is already under pressure. They offer emotional strength instead of financial demand. This does not mean children should never help their parents. Support within a family can be beautiful and necessary. But there is a difference between occasional support and ongoing dependence. One strengthens bonds. The other can slowly shift balance. Sometimes the greatest act of love is not asking, even when you feel you have the right to ask. Because protecting your child's peace today may protect your relationship tomorrow. Love between parents and children is one of the strongest bonds in life. It is built over decades of sacrifice, patience, shared meals, small arguments, and countless moments of care. But even the strongest bond can shift when roles begin to change too quickly or too heavily. After 60, many parents do not notice when a simple request slowly becomes a pattern. At first, it may be occasional. A small amount for medical needs. A little help with utilities. Something temporary. The child gives willingly. The parent feels grateful. Nothing seems wrong. Yet over time, if the requests continue, something subtle begins to transform inside the relationship. Children who consistently provide financial support may start to feel responsible not only for their own household, but also for yours. Responsibility itself is not negative. In fact, it can be honorable. But when responsibility grows without clear boundaries, emotional balance can weaken. The child may feel pressure to earn more, work longer, or postpone personal goals. Parents, on the other hand, may begin to feel dependent. Even if they never say it aloud, they may hesitate before making decisions without first considering whether the child can help. Independence slowly shrinks. Confidence may quietly fade. And with that fading confidence, self-worth can also suffer. Relationships thrive on mutual respect. When financial dependence becomes regular, the dynamic can shift from equal adults to provider and receiver. That shift may be small at first, almost invisible. But over years, it can create unspoken tension. The child may feel obligation instead of joy. The parent may feel guilt instead of security. After 60, emotional stability is precious. Peace of mind supports heart health, sleep quality, and overall well-being. Protecting the balance in your relationship with your children is part of protecting your health. Financial help should strengthen connection, not redefine it. Sometimes, maintaining a little distance in financial matters preserves closeness in emotional matters. And emotional closeness, in the later years of life, is far more valuable than money. As the years pass, something very important begins to matter more than possessions, savings, or even material security. It is dignity. Dignity is the quiet sense that you can stand on your own feet, make your own decisions, and live without feeling like a burden to anyone. After 60, this feeling becomes deeply connected to emotional health. When parents frequently rely on their children for money, even with good intentions, dignity can slowly feel compromised. Not because children disrespect their parents, but because dependence can change how you see yourself. You may begin to question your value. You may feel less confident expressing opinions. You may hesitate before spending even small amounts, knowing the source did not come from your own effort. For decades, you were the provider. You solved problems. You carried responsibility. You made sacrifices so your family could feel secure. That identity shaped your strength. When financial independence disappears completely, that long-held identity can feel shaken. The change is not only practical. It is emotional. Children may still treat you with love and kindness. They may never say a single negative word. But internally, you might struggle with pride. You might replay thoughts at night, wondering whether you have become too dependent. These silent thoughts can affect sleep, mood, and overall peace. Dignity does not mean refusing help in times of true emergency. There are moments when support is necessary and natural within a family. But there is a difference between accepting occasional assistance and building a lifestyle that requires ongoing dependence. One preserves self-respect. The other slowly erodes it. After 60, protecting your dignity is an act of self-care. It strengthens your voice. It keeps your confidence alive. It allows you to enjoy time with your children without hidden feelings of guilt or inadequacy. Emotional freedom grows when you know you are not relying on someone else for daily survival. Financial comfort can ease certain worries. But dignity feeds the soul. And in the later chapters of life, A peaceful soul is more valuable than a comfortable wallet. In families with more than one child, financial support can quietly introduce comparison. At first, everything may seem simple. One child helps because they live closer. Another helps occasionally when asked. No one speaks openly about differences. Everyone tries to remain respectful. Yet beneath the surface, emotions can slowly begin to shift. When parents ask one child for financial help more often than others, balance can change. The child who gives more may feel heavier responsibility. The one who gives less may feel guilt, distance, or even quiet resentment. Sometimes siblings never discuss these feelings directly. Instead, they allow misunderstandings to grow silently over time. After 60, your greatest wish is usually harmony among your children. You want them united long after you are gone. You want them to support each other, not measure each other. But repeated financial dependence on one child can unintentionally create imbalance in how siblings view fairness. The child who contributes financially may start to feel entitled to stronger influence in family decisions. The others may feel their emotional support is less valued because it is not financial. Small differences in contribution can turn into large emotional gaps if not handled carefully. Even when all children are financially capable, their life situations are rarely identical. One may have higher income but greater debt. Another may earn less but manage money more carefully. One may have medical expenses for their own child. Another may be supporting a spouse's family. What looks equal from the outside may not be equal in reality. When parents regularly request money, children may begin comparing how much each person gives. These comparisons can slowly weaken sibling bonds. And once tension enters sibling relationships, repairing it can be difficult. Protecting your children's unity is one of the most powerful legacies you can leave behind. Financial independence, even partial independence, helps prevent competition from entering the family. It allows your children to focus on love, not numbers. After 60, peace among your children is more valuable than temporary financial relief. Guard that peace carefully. For most of your life, you made your own decisions. You chose where to live, how to spend, when to save, and how to guide your family. That freedom shaped your identity. It gave you confidence. It allowed you to move through life with authority and self-trust. After 60, maintaining that decision-making power becomes deeply connected to emotional strength. When financial support regularly comes from your children, decision power can slowly begin to shift. Not always openly. Not always intentionally. But subtly. The person who provides resources often gains influence over how those resources are used. Even if your child never demands control, you may start to seek approval before making certain choices. You might hesitate before renovating part of your home. You might feel unsure about traveling to visit a friend. You may even question small daily expenses. The thought can quietly appear. Since this money is not fully mine, should I decide freely? That internal hesitation can gradually reduce your sense of autonomy. Children may offer advice with good intentions. They may suggest budgeting strategies, spending limits, or lifestyle adjustments. Their concern can come from love. However, when advice is tied to financial support, it can feel less like suggestion and more like guidance you are expected to follow. Over time, this can blur the boundaries between support and control. Autonomy is essential for mental health in later life. Studies consistently show that older adults who feel in control of their decisions experience lower stress and better emotional well-being. Losing that sense of control, even gradually, can increase anxiety and reduce confidence. Accepting help in emergencies is different from building daily life around someone else's income. Occasional support does not remove your authority. Ongoing dependence can slowly reshape it. The shift may be quiet, but its emotional impact can be significant. After 60, protecting your ability to decide for yourself is a form of preserving your identity. Financial independence, even modest independence, keeps your voice strong. And a strong voice allows you to age with confidence, not hesitation. As parents grow older, Emotions often become more sensitive, not weaker. Small changes in tone, small delays in response, or small differences in behavior can feel larger than they once did. When financial dependence becomes regular, one emotion can slowly begin to grow inside the heart: guilt. Even if your children never complain, even if they reassure you with kind words, you may still feel it. A quiet thought at night. A question in your mind. Am I taking too much? Am I making their life harder? These thoughts may not be spoken aloud, but they can repeat themselves over and over in silence. Guilt is heavy. It does not shout. It whispers. And whispers are often more powerful because they stay longer. Over time, this internal weight can affect your sleep. It can influence your mood. It can even reduce your enjoyment during family gatherings. Instead of feeling relaxed, you may feel slightly cautious, slightly indebted. Children, too, may experience their own version of guilt. If they cannot give as much as they want, they may feel inadequate. If they feel tired or pressured, they may feel guilty for having those feelings. This creates a cycle where both sides carry emotional weight that no one openly discusses. After 60, emotional peace becomes extremely valuable. Stress does not only affect feelings. It affects the body. Blood pressure rises more easily. The heart becomes more sensitive. The immune system weakens under constant tension. Protecting your emotional state is part of protecting your physical health. Financial independence, even partial independence, reduces this hidden emotional exchange. It allows support to remain a gift instead of an obligation. It keeps gratitude pure instead of mixed with guilt. It allows conversations to focus on love, memories, and shared laughter rather than unspoken financial strain. Growing older should not mean growing heavier in spirit. Your later years deserve lightness. They deserve conversations free from silent accounting. When you reduce situations that create guilt, you protect your own peace and your children's peace at the same time. And peace, at this stage of life, is priceless. Every parent dreams of seeing their children succeed. You worked hard so they could study, find stable careers, build families, and create a better life than the one you started with. That dream does not end when you turn 60. In many ways, it becomes even more important. When adult children regularly provide financial support to their parents, a portion of their resources shifts away from their own long-term plans. It may not seem large at first. A monthly transfer, occasional assistance, extra medical expenses. But over years, those amounts accumulate. And accumulation affects opportunity. Your children may delay buying a home. They may postpone investments. They may reduce savings for retirement. They may hesitate to start a business or pursue further education. None of these sacrifices may be spoken aloud. They may give willingly and respectfully. Yet the trade-off still exists. Financial growth depends on consistency. When income is repeatedly redirected, long-term stability can weaken. Just as you once needed space to build your life, your children also need space to build theirs. That space includes financial breathing room. After 60, it can be tempting to believe that because you sacrificed for them, they should now sacrifice for you. In moments of difficulty, that thought can feel justified. But true parental love often means continuing to protect your children's future, even when it requires personal adjustment. This does not mean refusing help in serious need. Family support is natural and honorable. However, making financial dependence a routine expectation can limit your children's ability to grow securely. Their retirement years will come sooner than they expect. If they are financially strained now, the cycle of dependence may repeat in the next generation. One of the most powerful gifts you can offer your children is freedom. Freedom to plan, to save, to invest, and to move forward without constant financial obligation. When you protect their ability to grow, you strengthen the entire family's long-term stability. After all, the goal of parenting was never to create repayment. It was to create progress. Communication within a family is delicate. It is shaped by tone, timing, and emotion. When money becomes a repeated topic between parents and children, conversations can slowly shift in ways that are not immediately visible. Words remain polite. Smiles remain present. But the atmosphere may feel slightly different. When financial support is expected regularly, discussions may become more careful. A child might think twice before sharing news about a vacation or a new purchase, fearing it may appear insensitive. A parent might hesitate to mention personal expenses, worrying it will sound like another request. This subtle caution can reduce openness. Money carries emotional weight. It connects to security, pride, and responsibility. When it enters family conversations frequently, it can influence how honestly people speak. Children may begin to filter their words to avoid conflict. Parents may avoid expressing needs fully to prevent feeling demanding. Over time, this filtering can create distance. After 60, meaningful conversation becomes increasingly valuable. You want to talk about memories, grandchildren, shared plans, and simple daily joys. When financial matters dominate communication, emotional topics may receive less space. The relationship can feel more transactional, even if no one intends it to be. Stress related to money can also make small misunderstandings grow larger. A delayed transfer might feel like neglect. A gentle suggestion about budgeting might feel like criticism. These reactions are rarely about the amount itself. They are about the emotional pressure surrounding it. Healthy family communication depends on equality and mutual respect. When one side consistently provides and the other consistently receives, the balance of conversation can shift. Protecting that balance helps preserve warmth and honesty. Reducing financial dependence does not eliminate love or support. Instead, it allows communication to remain centered on connection rather than obligation. It keeps family gatherings light. It allows laughter to come more easily. It protects the tone of your conversations from being quietly shaped by money. And in the later chapters of life, clear and warm communication is one of the greatest treasures you can hold.